that we deal with coffee, with the coffee companies that want to add value to our coffee from Italy. We shall also have a group of those banks, multi-billion banks that have come from Italy with the Ministry of Finance. We shall also have a group from the Ministry of Agriculture to deal with livestock, and of course, Uganda Investment Authority to give us the incentives that our investors expect from Uganda.
The Ministry of Health has announced the outbreak of a strange red-eye disease in different parts of the country. Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Twine, has called on the public to be vigilant and uphold some guidelines related to the fight against COVID-19, especially washing hands regularly. So far, the ministry has registered over 900 cases.
Red eyes epidemic among schools and other congregation places has raised tension among the public. The Ministry of Health has confirmed reported cases of over 900 and given preventative measures.
It has been detected in some schools in Kampala, in Wakiso. Our Director of Public Health has been tasked to go and check the extent.
Investigations have been ongoing. We've picked samples and taken them to our lab, not specifically to tell you anything, but for us to be able to know what kind of infection we are dealing with, so that we can distinguish between whether it's viral or bacterial. This infection has been reported in prisons in different parts of the country, but it's also now been reported recently in schools in Kampala, and so we are following shortly to see and continuously so that we get a complete picture.
Red eyes disease has been detected in schools around Kampala Metropolitan, Ruzila Prison, Padel Prison, Lira Main Prison, Kasanda Prison, Kaweru Prison, Erut Prison, Kampala Remand Prison, and Makishon Bay Prison.
Where we have congregated populations, it was first reported in prisons, and now we are receiving reports from certain congregated institutions like schools. We know that this disease can be spread from one person to another, and the numbers will quickly increase. This disease presents with people having red eyes, the eyes are itching them, and they are tempted to scratch them.
The Commissioner of Public Health, Dr. Daniel Chabayinza, advises the public to uphold personal hygiene, especially washing hands regularly.
Back in the habit of washing and sanitizing their hands, and to prevent touching the eyes, because by touching surfaces where somebody else has had red eyes and sat or been, and then you touch your eyes, then you will transfer the disease to yourself, you will infect yourself. So the key message is to make sure we prevent this kind of.
Those with signs of red eyes are advised to isolate and seek medical attention, and the public is cautioned on shaking hands.
So we require people to keep personal hygiene, keep the hands clean, not touch or rub them, and those who are sick should stay home so that they don't be part of the people spreading the disease from one another. In schools, the parents should be able to isolate their children who already have signs.
The disease is contagious with high-speed spread rate, and all public gathering places are advised to install washing hands points.
But what we want to remind the public is that wash your hands. If you have red eyes, actually don't go to be with the rest, because you may not avoid touching, you know. But even if you find yourself with someone with red eyes, you can actually avoid red eyes by simply observing washing your hands all the time. And you can be safe.
For schools in Kampala Metropolitan where this contagious disease has been detected, students with signs are isolated, while others are sent back home. Abdul Nasir Lubama for UBC.
And the Ministry of Energy is advocating for an amendment to the current Atomic Energy Act, number 24, to align it with international standards. The proposed amendments aim at strengthening the legal framework concerning crucial aspects essential in the application of nuclear technology. These aspects, including safety, safeguard, security and liability, are presently lacking in the existing legislation.
Public or people, so they have to Experts in the nuclear industry have convened to discuss the impending nuclear law as Uganda moves towards developing a nuclear power program. The proposed amendments aim to enhance the legal framework concerning critical elements in the application of nuclear technology, addressing deficiencies in the current law.
The country is yearning for power. Hydropower has issues. When drought comes, you are not sure of the amount of the volumes of water that you will get. Those are hydrological issues that affect hydropower generation. So that's why we can't ignore the other sources like geothermal, like nuclear. So we can't retrieve. We have to save our forests. We have to make sure that we distribute power to the last mile consumer.
Minister Nankabirwa urged experts to ensure that all provisions in the amended law are implementable.
So let all factors be captured, and then the minister will come up with the regulations to make sure that the law is implementable.
The International Atomic Energy Agency, in collaboration with the Atomic Energy Council, underscores the urgency of identifying necessary legislations to keep pace with the energy transition journey.
Amendments is just strengthen the provisions which are there mainly, and then to ensure that they cover nuclear facilities like nuclear power, waste management facilities, and the rest of it. That covers the whole nuclear fuel cycle. Initially, the whole fuel cycle was not considered much, but this time it is put under consideration when drafting the law. Also, in the amendment, we want to try as much as possible to domesticate the provisions in the international conventions that Uganda is already party to.
Several regulations have been developed, some currently undergoing redrafting by the First Parliamentary Council. 19
regulations, specific practice regulations are being developed, and they are at different stages. A big number of them are already at the First Parliamentary Council for legal drafting, others are in the process. Then on the international conventions, we have ratified a number of those conventions, but not all. So what we are doing now is to see that these relevant conventions for which we have not ratified, efforts are made to ratify them.
As Uganda progresses towards global nuclear power development to meet its energy needs, establishing a robust legal framework is crucial. The three-day meeting aims to raise awareness among stakeholders in the nuclear industry regarding the comprehensive nature of nuclear law and the integration of international legal instruments. Mutonyi Hilda, UBC.
And the Office of the President has come under scrutiny for failing to account for 47 billion shillings allocated for the implementation of outputs in the financial year 2022-23. Auditor General found that 2 outputs with 20 activities worth 35.6 billion shillings were only partially implemented, while the entity fully executed 16 activities. The chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament expressed concern over the lack of accountability for taxpayers' funds and resolved to sustain the query.
Officials from the Office of the President, led by Permanent Secretary Haji Yunus Kakande, appeared before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament to address queries raised in the Auditor General's report for the year ending 30th June 2023. The committee focused its investigation on the 189 billion shillings of unclassified expenditure, questioning why 223 billion out of the 228 billion budget was utilized, leaving 4.6 billion unspent. Officials explained that this remaining amount was intended for wages, pensions and gratuity, activities that were not carried out, citing public service regulations regarding payments to individuals aged 75 and above who must present an annual life certificate to receive pension.
Of them die. When they die, this money remains lying there when they die. Secondly, as he said, when some of them clock 75 years, mandatory they are supposed to bring us a certificate to say that, to show that they are still alive. Failure to give us the certificate, we can't now continue paying unless you
trust himself in the age of the presidential advisors. Because if for pension you call for above 75 an annual life certificate,
yes.
And then we come to your presidential advisors and we have those ones above 75.
The committee shifted the discussion to government employees receiving multiple earnings through various entitlements, such as presidential advisors.
Edward Kiwanuka Sekande and her likes. We want to find out, is she paid fully as a presidential advisor, and at the same time, does he enjoy all his benefits as a former vice president, as a former speaker, and as a former...
We pay him all his benefits as an advisor. That is a salary, gratuity, 40% of his salary. That's all generally what we pay him.
In those categories, and with their remunerations, to understand the financial implication of these advisors, I beg to submit, Chair.
The query regarding the implementation of outputs also troubled officials who attempted to explain how the 47 billion shillings was spent without satisfactory results. The Auditor General assessed the implementation of 4 outputs totaling to 34 activities, some of which were only partially implemented.
It's a very serious matter because you see, to come up with a budget, a figure to put in the budget, it must have a build-up of costs per activity. Now, if we have 47 billion, which is not costed, how did it end up in the budget in the first place?
What was utilized was 224, but we are dealing with 47. Where is the 117 billion, the difference?
Oh, of course, that question goes to our officer.
Yes.
You want as they're doing auditing.
Yes.
They just sample. They don't pick the entire expenditure.
Haji.
Assistant Commissioner of Finance and Planning at the Office of the President, Chisui Sadat, informed committee members that 34 billion out of 47 billion was allocated for facilities management as part of their development planning budget.
Deliverable. For example, I can say we have constructed an RD's office in Bujiri. That's an output.
No.
The office is available. Then the other is a budget output or a cost center. What we are talking about budget output area.
What about activities?
That's an activity.
Now, an activity now, when you talk of activity, what do you take to have this construction in place?
One particular activity that drew the committee's attention was the renovation of the RDC's office in Mukono, costing 76 million shillings, which was instead used to renovate the office of the RDC for Sembabule.
Yes, on the bids of
and you moved it.
By the district.
And you moved it
Yes.
to Sembabule.
That is mischarge.
You know, budgets are costed activities.
Kind of engineer that does a costing of renovation of 76 million. Then another engineer comes in to cost the same activity at 400 million.
Come that you have to transfer that money to another district, that means Sembabule is less undermined than Mukono RDC's office. Thank you.
Prior to this, the Public Accounts Committee met with officials from the Ministry of Tourism, where Chairperson Mwanga Chivombi summoned Permanent Secretary Doreen Katsime to appear in person and address Auditor General's queries. Committee members were informed by the Under Secretary that Katsime had taken annual leave just before the probe.
Is very genuine and sincere. Honorable Chair, being accountability, I do move that we stand this committee. We should not interface with them today.
Stay here. I'm giving her criminal summons. CID, you accompany this accounting officer, go to her home, get her here. And you are staying here. This business of wasting our time will not be tolerated.
I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Gwetabenji in Kampala.
Now, 10 local government officials working with Madi Okolo and Butiti districts have been released on bail, each paying 5 million shillings in cash. They are accused of causing financial loss to government, totaling over 1 billion shillings. The funds were intended for teachers' salaries in the respective districts.
Zaluku Kazamiro, Mustafa Nyende, Abdara Waiswa, Minsa Otaire, Freddy Bazibo, Kabla Henry, among others, who have appeared before Chief Magistrate Joan Asiro at the Anti-Corruption Court for the ruling on their bail application. However, prosecution initially objected to some of the accusers' sureties, such as Omaru Chigumba, who failed to present a police warrant card as proof of identity.
And in the event that court finds it proper to grant bail to the accused persons, I pray for very stringent terms that will compel the accused persons to attend court proceedings whenever required.
After reviewing the submissions, Magistrate Joanne Asiro granted bail to the accused, each required to pay 5 million Ugandan shillings in cash.
This 5 million shillings, if you attend court till the end, you don't abscond, at the end of the day is refunded to you. In any case, you are arrested and brought back here, the possibility of your bail being cancelled is almost like 99.9. And then for the sureties, each of you is bonded to 300 million shillings, not cash.
The court also ordered those with passports to deposit them with the court. All the accused pleaded not guilty to the alleged offences. Prosecution alleges that the 1.262 billion Ugandan shillings were deducted from teachers' salaries in Ibujiri and Madi Okole districts. Prosecution further alleges that the accused, along with others still at large, committed the said offences between March 2019 and December 2022. Magistrate Joanne Asira adjourned the case to May 2, 2024 formation. The accused were arrested by the Inspectorate of Government Office. Meanwhile, at the City Hall Magistrates Court, before Magistrate Rehema Nasozi, 11 security guards working with Kinmon Security Company have been charged and remanded for forcible entry.
Between the 1st and 11th of March 2024 at Ntinda, Nakawa Division in the Kampala district, in order to take possession thereof, you entered into the land on plot 106, Chira, Old Chira Ntinda, of Eliba Simon Orange and Evelyn Atim Magom in a violent manner. Is that true? Let's start with Semakula God Sako.
The accused, represented by their lawyer Muganga Evarist, were not granted bail as they failed to present substantial sureties. Prosecution led by Nyamwangusho Mase informed court that investigations into the case are ongoing and asked court for more time. The accused, visibly emotionally, were remanded to Ruzila Government Prison until March 20th, 2024. On Tuesday, the 11 were arrested by police, together with the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, while guarding a land involving a dispute between the family of the late engineer John Olecho and Sulaiman Semakula Liars Sema property. Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabogode, UBC News.
Meanwhile, State Minister in charge of Northern Uganda, Grace Chinchinyi, has emphasized that the peace established by the NRM government has facilitated permanent development in North and Northeast Uganda. She made these remarks during a holy service at Our Lady of the Sikh Catholic parish in Mulago, commemorating the life of the late retired Lieutenant Colonel at Alitema Pius, the RDC of Zombo, who passed away while on duty.
In a message read by Kasibante, the Archbishop of Kampala Diocese, Paul Semogerere, emphasized the importance of leaving a legacy while still alive, reflecting on both the good and challenging moments to be documented for others to learn from.
We, the baptized, let us journey together in communion, participation, and mission. Thank you very much, our Chief Monarch.
They work together with the Alur Kingdom. Many of those meetings in the communities, they would move together. And it also happened that the Prime Minister of Alur Kingdom was his classmate. So they bonded so well, so easily, you will not separate them and you will not bring any confusion.
Okumu Daniel Okor, representing Okor County in Zombo District, urged the government to equip rural health centers with medical facilities to prevent deaths like that retired.
So far, it was the longest serving RDC, almost 2 years, 2 years plus, without hearing any negative comments from the community. The people loved him so much.
Honorable MP Driwaru Jennifer from Maracha District commended the late Alitema Pius for his efforts in maintaining security.
Thank him and thank God for his life.
MP Oseku Richard from Chivale County, Palisa District, highlighted the simplicity of the late Alitema Pius, noting that even the Peter Clever community under the Mulago Parish chairmanship was surprised to learn he was a senior army officer.
Many, and that is something that you cannot take it ordinarily.
And ahead of the forthcoming 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week from the 18th of March till the 22nd, the Ministry of Water and Environment has conducted community cleaning in Nakawa Division. The cleanup exercise was initiated by the Ministry's Permanent Secretary, Okoto Kidi, and the Ministry for Water and Bulungi Bwansi of Buganda.
Preparations for the 7th Water and Environment Week, the Ministry of Water and Environment has undertaken various activities across Uganda to safeguard water and the environment against irresponsible waste disposal. These activities include tree planting, awareness walks, and community sanitation.
This is part of the Uganda Water and Environment Week pre-event activities. We started with activities from the regions, and I would like to thank all our partners who have worked with us in the regions. And today we are at the Ministry of Water and Environment at the center in Central Region.
A call has been made to every individual to continue conserving the environment and water without waiting for authorities to intervene.
When you see plastics being tossed out of taxis, you go to the channel here, everywhere. It is just because that culture has sunk, or we have lost it because we never used to be like this.
In addition to addressing irresponsible waste disposal, the public has been urged to plant more trees and nurture existing ones. The Ministry of Water and Environment has cleaned markets in Luzira, Chitintale, and Nakawa in preparation for the 7th Water and Environment Week. Mariona Wari and Annette Sana for UBC.
Let's take a short break. When we return, more details.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting it. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
The government of Uganda and the Uganda Bureau of Statistics is calling upon all stakeholders such as the chief administrative officers, city mayors, resident city commissioners, city clerks, city and division councillors, wards and LC chairpersons, as well as the residents and business communities to cooperate with the UBOS field teams as we embark on advanced preparations to conduct the National Population and Housing Census on the 10th of May 2024. The census will be a 10-day exercise to obtain statistical data and information that will be used for planning and policy formulation, including information on 1. How many we are, 2. Where we are, 3. How we are living, 4. What we own, and 5. Where we access services from. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has now started listing of households and mapping in the 11 cities of Arua, Fort Portal, Gulu, Hoima, Jinja, Lira, Mbale, Masaka, Mbarara, Soroti, and in the Greater Kampala comprising of Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono districts. For more information, please call 0755 342 128 or 0773 342 128. This message is brought to you by the Executive Director and Census Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Census 2024. It matters to be counted.
The 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week will take place from the 18th to the 22nd of March 2024 under the theme Rethinking Collective Action and Innovative Solutions to Water, Environment and Climate Change Crisis in Uganda at the Ministry of Water and Environment Headquarters in Luzira, Kampala. As part of the week, key sector international days, that is the World Water Day, International Forestry Day and the World Meteorological Day are commemorated. Various events such as panel discussions, site events, paper presentations and exhibitions will be organized for the sustainable ecosystem and the development of Uganda by different stakeholders on water and environment issues. Uganda Water and Environment Week 2024 is organized by the Ministry of Water and Environment through the Water Resources Institute with support from development partners. The week will be opened by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honourable Thomas Tayewa. For more information, visit our website at www.mwe.go.ug.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
Welcome back. You're also watching News Tonight. In business news, for decades, Uganda has heavily relied on imported vehicles, many of which run on diesel or petrol. However, this narrative is gradually shifting with the emergence of electric cars and motorbikes, which are beginning to make their presence felt on Ugandan roads, with some even being produced locally. Mark Wadulo brings the latest developments on this.
Due to excessive global pollution, mainly from the manufacturing and automobile sectors, 196 countries became signatories to the 2015 Paris Agreement at COP21, agreeing to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. To meet these goals, global carbon dioxide emissions need to be reduced by 45% by 2030 from 2010 levels and reach net zero emissions by 2050, prompting a turning point for the automobile sector.
We are not cutting off even fossil fuel immediately. We are still using it as we are discovering this. We replace, that's why people are talking 2040, 2050 in order to get all the solutions solved using cleaner sources of energy.
Chira Motors unveiled their first electric vehicle prototype in 2011, followed by its hybrid predecessor in 2014, tailored for the African market.
I'm cruising the Kia EV. This is ours.
They also ventured into manufacturing electric buses. However, a new excitement arose last year when foreign companies Nissan and Toyota launched their first electric cars on the Ugandan market. At first glance, this fully electric Nissan Ariya looks similar to its petrol counterparts until you raise its bonnet.
You charge from here, the power goes in. You know our power is not really stable and we don't want to waste the batteries.
How much does a car like this go for now in Uganda?
This car here is $57,000 US, and the other big one is $98,000 US.
Amounting in Uganda shillings like how much?
About 215.
Most electric cars today can travel over 200 kilometers before needing a charge. But questions about their sustainability and affordability arise due to their price and electric nature.
What we are trying to talk and what we are influencing as engineers is to tell government, you are distributing power, but you need to empower the local person so that he has capacity to pay for that unit. And there is a need also to reduce on the cost of production of that power and the cost of sale of that unit. So it's the government that needs to come in.
2023 had been projected to be the year that electric vehicles take off globally. However, in sub-Saharan Africa, more so countries like Uganda, the challenge of the high cost of these vehicles and the wanting road infrastructure still hinders the growth and takeoff of this sector.
Based on experience, Zembo, a pioneer in the electric boda motorcycle subsector since 2019, aims to produce over 12,800 electric motorcycles, replacing imported petrol ones.
Because it requires big investment. We estimate completely converting the boda industry to electric, based on our monthly imports of around 12,000 motorcycles, petrol per month. Replacing those with electric and building the infrastructure to go with it would be about $40 million USD per month of investment. So someone has to finance that. So I see a big opportunity for the financial sector as well to support us who are doing the work of actually building things and installing things.
Chiera EV is already setting up infrastructure that most players are likely to replicate.
This fast charging station converts that AC power into DC power, and then we use that DC to charge the battery of the bus, because the bus uses a battery and batteries use DC power.
However, one may wonder why the informal but skilled fabricators in Uganda are not prominently involved in this revolutionary electric vehicle journey.
Each automobile industry will create over 100 different industries that feed into that. And we have already started at the university to make sure that the engineers understand this, but also at Katwe. And at Independence, we launched our first vehicle, which is a blend of this, because they have something they know, but they need engineering to bring it together. They have the hands-on, which is lacking in the universities, and but they don't have the engineering.
The electric vehicle subsector holds promise not only for reducing dependence on fossil fuels, but also for stimulating economic growth and fostering environmental stewardship. Wadulo Makanold for UBC Business.
March is the month of film magic as the Uganda Communications Commission brings you the regional film competition. Experience the excitement across Uganda. Northern region in Moroto from the 4th to the 8th of March. Eastern region in Jinja from the 11th to the 15th of March. Central region in Mityana from the 18th to the 22nd of March. Western region in Kasese from the 24th to the 27th of March. Come and watch some of the best films made by your very own creative minds on their way to stardom. Follow and support the different nominees as they battle for top honors in each regional film competition. The winners will walk away with prestigious awards and exciting prizes. The regional film competition is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission, increasing diversity of Ugandan content.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja, a documentary film about our unity as Ugandans and Africans.
Bunyoro would have simply created an East African community that we are looking for today.
The rulers of Bunyoro are actually Luos.
We people who live across the Nile, we are so related from our myth or from just the Nile.
We are the same people, and genetically we are even the same people.
We are similar people.
We are one.
Pamoja, we are one.
Use that word, pamoja.
Premiering every week from 3rd February to June 2024 at the National Theatre and Indere Center. Daily screenings are from 4th February to June 2024 at Ham Cinemax and the National Theatre. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko Pamoja?
In sports, the English Premier League has garnered immense popularity worldwide, particularly Africa. In Uganda, it is a dream for many to witness the Premier League game live. In a campaign titled Win Your Ticket to Glory, launched last December, Eric Baletirera emerged as the fortunate winner. He has secured an all-expense paid trip to the UK to watch Arsenal face Everton at the Emirates Stadium on the 19th of May this year, accompanied by a friend of his choice. The VVIP experience includes return flights to the UK as well as airport and hotel transfer fees. Absa Bank has been a significant force in promoting sports, notably by sponsoring the English Premier League trophy in Uganda.
And I'm grateful to Absa Uganda for running such a campaign, and of course I'm glad and I'm looking forward to the trip and to have as much fun as I can possibly have. My expectation is to have a good game. I want to experience the atmosphere at the Emirates Stadium and cheer on, and I hope the best team wins.
Last year in December, we launched a campaign called Win Your Ticket to Glory. And this campaign was premised on trying to ensure that our customers are pushed to use their cards for point-of-sale transactions. So ultimately, after the run of 2 months, we've gotten a winner, not just one winner, but we had 39 customers from the different branches actually winning themselves fuel vouchers worth 200,000. The ultimate winner has been rewarded today, and that ultimate winner is none other than Mr. Eric Baletirera, and is going to win an all-expense paid trip to the UK to watch an English Premiership match between Everton and Arsenal. That's going to happen on the 19th of May. Eri is not going alone. At Absa, we value that our customers might have colleagues or friends that they wish to go with. So Eric, on this journey to the UK, will be traveling with a friend. It could be a spouse, it's up to him to select. It could be a spouse, it could be a friend. They'll travel on the 19th of May and will be hosted at our Mayfair Hotel in the UK. It's fully paid, proudly sponsored by Absa Bank. I thank you.
Well, that does it for News Tonight. Thank you for sticking with us. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Juko.
Yo.
Wachikuwa. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model, PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested